Hey, what's up everybody? Entrepreneurial here, and in this video, I'm gonna show you how to develop a business mindset and why it is a cornerstone of entrepreneurial success. So you may be thinking, why are we talking about mindset on an e-commerce channel? Well, it's because at Dropship Lifestyle, I've had the privilege of coaching over 10,000 students from over 50 different countries, and many of them have went on to build seven-figure businesses, while there are also some of them that are in no better of a position now. So what separates the huge wins from the losses? Well, in my opinion, it all comes down to having a business mindset. So first off, we should define this thing. So a business mindset is a frame of thinking where you see problems as opportunities, where you embrace risk and uncertainty, and where you take extreme ownership of everything that's happening to you and happening around you. Now, these things are hard to do for a lot of people, not because they're not possible or capable of it, but because of the way we're raised, where we're typically not taught to think this way. But that is totally fine. Again, you can develop a business mindset over time. So now I want to give you some practical tips for how to develop a business mindset. The first is get outside of your comfort zone. This is essential if you want to succeed in business and entrepreneurship. So let me give you some practical examples of how you can do this. Let's just say you're an introvert, right? Like me. Maybe what you want to do then is go on meetup.com and look for different meetups in your local area that have to do with marketing or e-commerce or entrepreneurship, and just go by yourself. Fully accept that you're going to be uncomfortable when you get there, but going and having that experience will help you to get out of your comfort zone, which again, you need to get used to. Something else you should do, let's just say if you're afraid of public speaking, is go online and join a Toastmasters group where you can practice in front of a group and then eventually be able to give a speech in front of the whole community and then have this new skill set. Get over your fears. And let's just say you have a fear of rejection like we all do. This one is going to be really uncomfortable, but I love it. I think it's a great experiment. This is called the coffee experiment, and it's from Noah Kagan. And what he recommends doing is going into a coffee shop, ordering a coffee, and then just saying to the clerk, excuse me, can I have 10% off my order? And then be quiet. Don't say anything. And you're doing this, waiting to see what they say. They might say no, they might say yes, but it's getting outside of that comfort zone. It's doing something you would never normally do. And what's the worst that's going to happen, right? You're probably panicking, thinking like, I can't do that. But the worst thing that's going to happen is they say no. Okay, so do these things. It'll help you break out of your comfort zone. That is an essential skill for developing a business mindset. My second tip is to find a mentor. Now, this isn't a traditional mentor, how people think, like somebody you're going to be asking questions to every day or anything like that. But what I want you to do is get as close as possible, get in the proximity of somebody who already is a successful business owner. Now, this might be a family member that owns a business. This might be your boss if you work at a small company. This might even be someone that you reach out to and ask for a job where you can be their apprentice. But what you're trying to do here is not make a bunch of money by being close to this person. You're just trying to work as closely as possible with them and observe their actions. Very important here, both in the good times and in the bad. You want to see how they handle different situations, and you want to be able to soak in as much of that as possible and start using their techniques in your own life. Proximity is power, and having a mentor is very helpful when you're trying to develop your own business mindset. Tip number 3 is to reframe failures as learning experiences. So what I want you to do is take a minute and think about all of your past failures. Maybe you got fired from a job, maybe you lost a big client, maybe you gained a bunch of weight. Maybe you were in a toxic relationship for too long. Any of these things from your past that when you look back on, you're just like, oh, that was terrible, right? And these things, normally, the way people think about them is something that makes them resent themselves, makes them feel down. But business mindset people do not think about these things that way at all. Instead, what you need to do is look back on them, accept the failure or whatever mistakes that you made in that situation, and then think about what you can learn from that moving forward. After that, forget the past and move on. Forget the bad, remember what you can do to improve, and don't look at anything as a failure, because with a business mindset, there is no failure, there is only learning. My fourth tip is to trust your instincts, and this can be very hard to do, especially when you're making big decisions. But with a business mindset, you are going to be responsible for your actions, and you need to know that you're never going to be 100% certain or confident before you take any action. So the best thing you could do is trust your instincts, trust your gut, do what you feel is right at the time. Of course, use as much data as you have available, but as things start to progress and you either get the results you're looking for or you don't, then you can pivot based on that data. But don't go out there seeking anybody else's approval before you take action. Don't go out there waiting until you know everything on a certain topic before pulling the trigger. Take action based on your instinct and your gut feeling. And then again, as things progress, you can pivot, you can make changes, but do not seek approval. If you do, you'll be in the purgatory phase of business forever, where you're just waiting around watching days, months, and years go past. So finally, tip number 5 for how to develop a business mindset is to become a producer instead of a consumer. This applies to both digital content and physical products. So think, for example, the company GoPro that sells action cameras. They sell well over 2 million of those every single year, with the people buying them thinking, I'm going to create something great and share it with the world. And I can't even imagine how few of a percent of people even film anything on these, let alone upload anything that they had in their head when they bought it. That is a consumer mentality. When you're buying, thinking, if I have this, then that's going to happen. This also applies to digital content and education. So don't get into a phase of your life where you're consuming, only going through online courses, only watching YouTube videos, only listening to podcasts, and not actually putting anything out there in the world. Because when you have an entrepreneurial mindset, by far the majority of your time should go into producing rather than consuming. Consuming makes you feel good for the short term. Producing makes you actually have a successful business for the long term. So as always, guys, I hope you found these quick tips helpful. If you did, please do give the video a like and leave a comment down below with what you got from this. And as always, if you are looking for mentorship and help building a highly profitable, semi-automated online store, be sure to go to dropshipwebinar.com to get my free training where I show you exactly how we build these businesses. So go over there, it's dropship webinar.com, and I will see you on that training. Thanks. Hey, what's up, guys? Anton here again, and I hope you got some real value out of that video you just watched. If you did, you should definitely check out this one or this video right here. I do 2 new ones every week. You'll see a subscribe button right here. And if you want my free training that is 2.5 hours long of value with 237 niches, click this button right down here. It'll take you to where you need to go.